Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make this crochet book sleeve and bookmark. These patterns are really customizable for any type of book, and they're pretty easy to make. Materials you need are yarn, a crochet hook, a needle, and scissors. Begin with the blue yarn. Start by making a slip knot. Yarn over and pull through to make your first chain. Make your foundation chain the same length as your book. For my book, I'm making a total of 56 chains and 1 chain for turning, so that's 57 chains in total. Once you finish the foundation chain, turn your chain a little bit to see the little bumps at the back. Skip the first bump and double crochet in the second bump from our hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into the bump. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. So here you have a double crochet. Continue making double crochets into each bump. At the last bumps, make an increase by putting 2 double crochets into the same chain. Turn your work and continue crocheting double crochets along the other side of the chain. At the last stitch, also make 2 double crochets into the same stitch. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join the round. Start round 2 by chaining 3. This counts as your first double crochet. Make 2 more double crochet into the same stitch. Chain 1 and skip 3 stitches. Insert your hook in the 4th stitch, making 3 double crochets in the same stitch. Repeat this pattern. Chain 1, skip 3 stitches, 3 double crochets all the way round. At the end of the round, complete the last cluster of 3 double crochets. You'll have 3 stitches left. That's the end of row 2. Switch to yellow yarn. Slip stitch into the first stitch of row 1. Insert your hook through both loops and stop. Switch to yellow yarn, yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook. Start row 3 by chaining 1. Insert your hook into the first chain space, pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through 2, so this makes a single crochet. Now we're going to stack 2 more single crochet on top of that. Insert your hook into the left leg of the first single crochet. Pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. Repeat 1 more time. What we've made here is called a stack of 3 single crochet, and it is going to count as a double crochet. Make 2 more double crochets into the same space we just made. Move to the next chain space, chain 1 and work 3 double crochets. Repeat these steps. Chain 1 and 3 double crochets all the way around. This is how it looks after I finish the third row. Switch to gray yarn. At the end of the row, make a slip stitch into the first stitch of row 3. Insert your hook through both loops and stop. Switch to gray yarn, yarn over, and pull through both loops on the hook. Start row 4 by chaining 1. Insert your hook into the first chain space, pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through 2, so this makes a single crochet. Stack 2 more single crochets in the same way as with the yellow yarn. Make 2 more double crochets into the same space we just made. Continue crocheting into the next space, chain 1, then work 3 double crochets into the following space. Repeat this pattern. Chain 1, skip 3 stitches, 3 double crochets all the way around. Here is how it looks after completing the 4th row with gray yarn. End row 4 and change to blue yarn. From now on, what you're going to have to do is just repeat these steps over and over again until you reach the top of your book. Work in sequence with 3 colors: blue, yellow, and gray. You can try it with the book, and it will look like this. Now let's keep crocheting, and I'll see you then. And here it is after I finished it to the perfect width for the book, ending with a row of gray yarn. Now let's see how it looks with the book. For my book sleeve, I made 18 rounds in total and approximately 15 centimeters. The exact number of rounds may vary based on the size of your book. Once the textured rounds are complete, switch back to the blue yarn. Slip stitch to finish row 18. We're now going to make 2 rounds of single crochets in every stitch. Cut off the yellow and gray yarn, then sew them in to secure. Start by chaining 1 and making a single crochet all around. Slip stitch into the first stitch of the round 1 to begin round 2, and chain 1. Now, you need to prepare 2 buttons and 4 stitch markers. We will make 2 crochet strings for the book's clasps like this that I made before. Divide the width of the book into 3 equal parts and mark the 2 middle points with stitch markers. Work single crochets until you reach the first marked point. Chain 12. Slip stitch into the 7th stitch from the hook, then work 5 more slip stitches to complete the string. Continue with single crochets until you reach the second marked point and repeat the string making process. Chain 12. Slip stitch into the 7th stitch from the hook. Then work 5 more slip stitches to complete the second string. Finish the round by making single crochets until the end of the row. Slip stitch, cut off the yarn and sew to secure. At 2 points that align with the string you just made, and sew the buttons securely at these points. crochet book sleeve is now complete. Feel free to customize the size, colors, or even add embellishments to make it uniquely yours. Next, we will make a bookmark that matches the color of the book sleeve. Start with the first blue color, chain 41 or a multiple of 10 plus 1. Let's begin with row 1. Start by making a single crochet into the second chain from the hook and into the next 4 stitches. Then work 5 double crochets next. Repeat 5 single crochets, 5 double crochets, 3 times till the end. Moving on to row 2. Chain 2, which counts as the first double crochet, and work 4 double crochets in the back loop only. Then repeat 5 single crochets in the back loop, 5 double crochets in the back loop, 3 times till the end. Make sure your double crochets align with double crochets and single crochets with single crochets from the previous row. Fasten off and leaving a yarn tail for sewing. For row 3, join a yellow color. Chain 2, then work 4 double crochets in the back loop. Next, make 5 single crochets in the back loop. Repeat 5 double crochets, 5 single crochets across the row. In this row, we're swapping. Double crochets go into the single crochets, and single crochets go into the double crochets. Row 4 starts with a chain 1. Repeat 5 single crochets in the back loop, 5 double crochets in the back loop across the row. Fasten off and leaving a yarn tail for sewing. Now for row 5, join a gray color. Chain 1 and repeat the same pattern. 5 single crochets in the back loop, 5 double crochets in the back loop across the row. Row 6 begins with a chain 2, then work for a double crochet in the back loop. Repeat 5 single crochets in the back loop, 5 double crochets in the back loop to the end. Fasten off and leaving a yarn tail for sewing. And that's it! We've made a beautiful bookmark that perfectly matches the book sleeve. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful. If you did, please give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe for more creative projects. Thanks for watching and happy crocheting!